Hello artists, Mrs. Castle here, and we're gonna talk about Chalk Pastel 4, and this is a landscape, and always put your name. Okay, so the instruction, you're gonna need a 9 by 12 piece of paper. That's the big piece, or the bigger small pieces. And you're gonna need, you're probably gonna need a kneaded eraser, you're gonna need a pencil, and you're gonna need your pastels. So the instructions say to draw a landscape and start with the background and use lighter colors and mix with gray to mute the colors down and make them look far away, and get brighter as you come forward. This is gonna go pretty quick. I might have to find us some whites because the pastels are large, and that's why I didn't want you to use a 9 by 6 piece of paper. So let's get started. I'm gonna start with some mountains in the background, and I'm gonna put some more mountains and some hills, and then I'm gonna get down to the flat land, or the flatter part of the land, and I'm gonna put a road in. Roads, when they go back into the distance, always seem like they get narrower. I'm gonna add a tree. Avoid lollipop trees. Trees don't look like that. That's a symbol for a tree, like that's a symbol for a bird. Let's see. I'm gonna put a driveway over here, and let's see if I can squeeze in a mailbox. Keep in mind the size relationships of things. I want to make sure I make the mailbox kind of small next to the tree. All right, so we're going to start in the back with some, we need gray to help mute the colors, and I'm going to start with some brown and some purple. I also want to see blending. You have learned about blending in the previous, if you did the previous video. So if you choose chalk pastel for your final piece, I want to see blended colors, if nothing else. So I'm very lightly going to put color, put some brown on my mountains. I'm using very, very, very light pressure. Okay, firm pressure, medium pressure, light pressure. Keep that in mind. Okay. All right, I'm gonna blend. I'm gonna add some purple to it, and I'm keeping it light. Tissue. Now I'm gonna put my gray on. And I'm putting all the colors that I want together before I blend it. And I'm gonna try using fingers to blend. Okay, what do we do with dust? We dump it on the floor. And we can fix the fuzziness of that top edge of the mountains with an eraser, or when we do the sky. Okay, that's a little bit darker than I want it to be. So I'm gonna use some white, but I gotta find the white. And I need a tissue to wipe off the colors. Okay, we wanna keep it light. So adding white is okay. We add white to make things lighter. We add any color that's darker than the color that we have to make things darker. Black isn't the only answer for making things darker. Okay, I'm gonna blend this and then I'm gonna add a little more gray. To really get those colors looking far away. Okay, now I'm gonna put my second row of mountains on there. And this one I want to be a little bit darker. Shake off my dust. And I'm gonna add a little bit of the dark green here and there. And now I'm gonna add my gray. Probably won't need to add white to this one. Blend this one. This assignment is all about blending your colors. Make sure I get enough gray. Put some more right near the top because it's a little browner than I want. Okay, not bad. Okay, so next I'm gonna do the hills. And I am gonna add a little bit. I'm gonna go around the tree because I'm gonna do something different with the tree. I'm gonna add some purple to the highest part of the hill. Yeah, the hills, because that's the farthest away. And I'm gonna put some gray on there. I'm gonna put, these hills are still far away, so we want some gray on them. Blend that together and see what we get. And actually kind of targeting some of the dust to kind of help blend it in. Okay, so I'm gonna go for a lighter green. I've got, oops, let's get my sandpaper paper. Make sure these are two different greens, they're the same. So I'll have to go for my very light green and some of that regular. Use this pastel to kind of get some of this, some of the farther away hill to look a little bit closer. Okay, so now I'm gonna actually let's put a little bit of white. I don't want it completely grayed, so I'm gonna mute it by layering some white on top. Okay, I'm gonna use this very lightly. I want more farther back and less up front. Oops. I can take some of that off. If you get too much on there, use your kneaded eraser to pull it off. And these are no longer living on the table. They're in my eraser jar, so if you need one, you gotta come get it. Picking up some of that green. Okay, and then I'm gonna mush it up. So the green disappears so I don't get the green on other parts of the drawing where I don't want that green. No, I've got some dust over here, so I can just wipe it off. Okay, so I'm gonna go back. And I'm gonna increase the amount of this light green as I come down. I'm not using full pressure. I may be using medium pressure by the time I get down to the bottom. It does make a difference how hard you press on the pastel. I'm gonna leave that dust on there. And back here, I'm gonna blend some white to help keep it back a little bit. Careful where you put your fingers. If you need to ever use black pastel, I have the black pastel, so you'll have to get it from me. And we use black the very, very last because it is a very strong color and it will take over everything if there's no way you can, almost no way you can come back from it if you use it too early. I'm gonna put a touch of gray. And there are other ways we can make dark colors, and I'll show you one of those ways here in a minute. And if you do chalk pastel number 5, then you're gonna learn some ways. I'm gonna preview a way to make some darker color. Okay, so there's my grass.